Family, good morning. It is Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for joining us today right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Today is Wednesday. It is April 15th, otherwise known as Tax Day. And I hope that you're off to an amazing start. I appreciate you guys joining the show wherever you're coming from. Thank you for joining me on today's program. This will be a call-in show, and we got a couple topics that we can hit on, of course. The quarterback talk is always interesting, right? We talked about the Alabama defensive superlatives. Hopefully you caught that podcast this morning on Wake Up Bama. We'll do the offense on Thursday morning. We can talk about the schedule if you want, any sleepers on this roster, and if we want to talk about the coaching staff, we can, of course, talk about the coaching staff. Alabama will hold its last spring football practice actually tomorrow on the 16th. They had a practice on Tuesday, kind of tightening up some things, and then on Thursday will be their final practice. It was kind of interesting. I mean, usually you have A-Day is kind of like it, but this coaching staff does things a little bit differently, as you know, and you had a couple of other practices following A-Day. I think it's been productive. It's been a really good A-Day, and it was a really good A-Day, and I think we learned a lot during spring ball, right? I don't think all of our questions were answered, but let me ask you this as we kind of warm up the show and we say good morning to everybody. Do you feel more confident in this team's ability or less confident? How are you feeling about the team? You feeling more confident, less confident? To be honest, I think I feel more confident because I think I came in to that scrimmage with a lot of questions on the offense and how are they going to be. And I think I go like kind of a little bit more confident because I have to be honest. I do have my concerns about the Alabama offense, and it all revolves around the Alabama offensive line. And I think we got a snapshot of that. But until we really see the full offensive line put together, you know, how is it going to be? How is it going to look? How is this team really going to come together? So I feel better about it. I feel good about the defense. I know there were some people that didn't like the defensive performance. I think sometimes we could look at things too much of a microscope. The defense is going to be good. Come the first game of the season, I promise you the defense is going to be just fine. That is going to be why Alabama starts the season 5-0. That is why Alabama is going to be ranked, you know, where they're ranked by the time they play Georgia. I would imagine it's two teams in the top 10 by the time they meet. This Alabama defense is going to be a reason that Alabama makes a really good run. And as I was going over the defensive superlatives, it's really amazing to me how that defense is not only set, but how much depth that we have on the defense, right? Like you can go through the defensive line. You feel really confident about the ones and twos. Same thing even with the inside linebackers. And that was an area for me is I needed to know more about the inside linebackers. And I think the inside linebackers, like I leave spring football feeling really good about the inside linebackers. Young, inexperienced, but very talented. I think they're going to pose a lot of problems. And I know I gave the most improved linebacker award to Luke Metz, but it was tough to do because I felt that Daryl Duke Johnson is right there. And I think that he's very, very talented. And I was kind of going over some film as well. And I also thought that Caleb Woodson, man, there was a couple plays during the spring football scrimmage where he just shot the gap and he came right into a running back and he just made a really good tackle. So I love Caleb Woodson, and I think the inside linebackers are going to be just fine. Secondary, of course, I mean, the depth, the talent is just we're so rich in the secondary, and I think we'll be just fine. So with that said, good morning to everybody. Thank you very much for being here on the program today. As I said, it's a call-in show, so the call-in line is actually open. It is 205-850-1994. I have it here on the screen. You guys can call in, and I have some topics that we can discuss, but if you have anything else that's on your plate, go ahead and throw it on and we can discuss those. So call line is open. Feel free to call in. Let me get actually the comments on the screen, and let's say good morning and see who's in the undefeated this morning as we start out this beautiful Wednesday morning. And again, thank you so much for joining me on the program as you guys are listening to from wherever you guys are at. I know it's always amazing to see just where everybody is at inside the undefeated, and say good morning to a couple different people real quick before we take our first call. It looks like we have Mike down in Choctaw and then a 253 after that. So let's say good morning to Max. Max, what's up, man? Appreciate you being here. Mask Up Daytona says good morning as well. We have Mike down in Choctaw. We have Miss Crystal out in South Carolina. Thank you very much for joining us. We have Bot Ricks that successfully joined the channel. Good to see it. We have Miss Nicole Covington. Thank you very much. We have Dan Caraway. Dan, what's up, man? Yo, what was your assessment, Dan, of A-Day? What'd you think? Did we figure out our quarterback, or do you still believe we have a quarterback competition? We have Robert Bradley Jr. What's up, Robert? Good to see you, man. We have Shad the Fisherman. Appreciate you, bro. We got Jay down in Pensacola. I know you're on the road somewhere, bro. Be safe as always. Carl Moore, what's up, bro? Thanks for calling in. We got Willie J. Smith. Willie J. Smith, what's up, man? Justin RTR, thank you so much. Kaylin Childress, what's up? Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for locking in to the show. And, it looks like we got an absolutely stellar crew. Army 3275, what's up, man? Call in today. I think I missed you on Monday. So call back today, and hopefully we can chop it up for sure. Okay, all right, Mike, let's see if we can take this call from Mike down in Choctaw as we get the show started. Hey, Mike, can you hear me? All right, 1 second. Let's make sure that all of our settings are tightened up. Mike, can you hear me? Doesn't sound like Mike can hear me. All right, Mike, I'm going to return you to the queue, and let's see if it's your issue or my issue. Sorry about that. All right. Okay, let's take this 253, and let's see if we can get this in. Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Can you hear me? Okay. Hey, Mike, could you hear me inside the comment box? Let me know if you could hear me. All right, 253, stay with me real quick, okay? I think I'm going to try. I've been having, like, some audio issues lately, so I know it's kind of a pain. Let's see if we can get this to connect. Stay right there, 253. Just let me know when you can hear me. Hello? 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 Test, test, test. Oh, I got you. I know exactly what was happening. Mike, call back, man. 253, I appreciate you joining the show. Who am I on line with and where are you calling in from?
Man, when you see the 253, it's CJ all day.
CJ, man, you're always on, man. We got CJ, we got Mike, we got Cody from Crestview. We got like 5 callers who called nonstop. And, Mike, call back, man. I know it was up. It was just my microphone was turned down. All right, CJ, what's up, man? Appreciate you calling. CJ from out in Seattle. Come with it, bro.
Man, how you doing this morning, Kyle?
I'm doing good, man. Yeah, just, my mornings, my evenings are really busy. You know what? At this point in my life where I'm at, and for those of you who have teenagers, everything in my life is happening from 6 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. So Kaden gets home from work at 10. Yeah. Lacey goes into theater from 6 and she gets out at 9:30. And it's crazy because when they get home, clearly they're hungry. But I'm done, bro. I'm done by like 8. So the teenage years, I've realized while it's easier and they're more self-sufficient, I'm still driving around. I'm still a parent. So, man, it's a late night grind when you're a teenage parent, man. So I'm not complaining. It's just an interesting, point in your life as every spot is interesting. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for being here. Thanks for asking about me. I appreciate it, man. So what's up, man? Welcome to the show, CJ. Come with it, bro.
Bro, I am about to come with it, but we ain't seen your food. You cooking nothing, chefing up something in a minute, man.
When I was cooking, I got so much negative feedback. They were saying that I was cooking, that I was going to kill myself and kill my family, and that I was cooking unhealthy. And it's just like, man, I seriously So I was like, you know what? I don't need that in my life. So I still cook, clearly. But yeah, I've kind of put the cooking aside because it was crazy how much negative feedback I was getting on the cooking. I thought I was
Man,
cooking
Kyle, do what
clean,
you do, man.
man. Damn. So yeah, put the cooking to
No, no,
bed.
no, 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 no.
Yeah.
We the people do not agree with certain individuals. You keep doing what you're doing. I'm gonna send you a recipe too,
Okay.
in your later on in the DM, man. I'll hit you up with it, man.
Ooh, can't wait.
But
Yeah.
anyway,
Send it up, man.
man, look, Xavier McGriffin, man, ain't nobody talking about this kid. I went back and watched A-Day.
Mm-hmm.
You was there. This dude bust free and could have sacked quarterbacks like it wasn't nothing.
Mm.
And he's playing out of position. He got him on the edge instead of linebacker. And I don't know if I know you probably seen the feeds, man, but a lot of reports are coming out that the people on him, including me, maybe we need to switch him to the edge, man. Take him off linebacker because he was thriving in that position. Then, so I want to hear your opinion on that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, want to hear what you think about John Edwards, man. That dude was flying. Big number 16. These freshmen are scary, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, what you think about those two guys right there, Kyle?
I mean, Xavier Griffin, I think that's a very interesting one because I think there's a lot of guys that are hybrid players on our team that I think can play a variety of positions. And that's just how good the coaching staff is at getting high-level athletes. So let me give you an example of what I mean by that. I think that Xavier Griffin is a guy that can play inside. I think he's a guy that can play on the edge. And I think I project him more as like an edge-type guy as he grows up. But I think like other guys who are just athletic enough to play multiple positions is something that maybe we haven't had for a while. Like Des Zulu can play bandit. He can also play wolf. All right, here's another guy. How about Jahmyr Edwards, bro? Like Jahmyr could play safety, husky, linebacker. Okay, he's 6'2", 220 pounds. You know what? Jahmyr could very well play inside linebacker. I promise you. There's not a lot. Like, I think he has more athleticism, but like Daryl Duke Johnson is another guy. Like, he could play a variety of positions. So this coaching staff has done a great job recruiting guys that are athletic enough to play a variety of positions. The thing is with Xavier Griffin, I just think he's just young. So there's no need to rush his development. He's definitely grown up, I would say, over the last year. But I mean, because he's added weight. But I think next year, Xavier Griffin will be so hard to keep off the field. But think about it. You'll probably have Justin Hill, and then you'll have Xavier Griffin right after that. So, loaded at all the positions, but no need to rush the development. I mean, he's there. I'm excited about him, but good point out for sure. What else you got, CJ?
Now, I think he's going to be the next Terminator.
Yeah.
I'm calling it right now.
Yeah.
I'm a stand on business. That by the time next year, like you said, with some development, that's going to be Terminator point. You won't, But another thing is I see a huge difference in the running game. People are not really paying attention. Some people are, but Kyle, I am, man. I noticed, this new freshman, Hamilton, was that his name? Trayshawn?
Trayshawn Brown. Yeah.
Yeah, dude was hitting that hole real fast. I noticed when he got the ball, when he got the handoff, he immediately started accelerating.
Yeah.
And then when he saw a hole, first of all, his vision to see a hole. And then when he seen one, he darted into it. And that's what we was lacking. With Jaron Miller, Jam started to bounce a lot, and that slowed it up because it gave the defense time to react and nab him in the backfield a lot because he wanted to bounce and, instead of hitting the hole. Daniel Hill just couldn't hit the hole hard enough and fast enough. We knew our problems, right? But I see this youngin' hitting that hole real hard. I see A.K. Deer with a lot of celebration, hitting holes. He may need to get in that weight room a little bit more because he did get put on his butt. But I've seen a lot of Daniel Hill. So I think we're going to take some of these teams by surprise with this running game. And we ain't even got the E.J. Crowell yet.
Yeah.
So I'm real excited about this run game. And I think, like I said, I think it's just going to be a whole different dynamic, you know, and we're going to put people back on notice, man, with that run game. Your thoughts, Kyle? Hey, appreciate everything you do. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to sit back and enjoy the show with my cup of joe and hit you up with some more.
All right, man. Yeah, I always appreciate it, bro. Thanks for calling in, CJ. Good dialogue for sure, man. All right, CJ with the good call. Yeah, Mike and Chris, you guys are up next right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Today's show is a call-in show, so the call-in line is 205-850-1994. Today's topics clearly quarterback, anything quarterback, the defense, freshmen, the schedule, sleepers, coaches on staff. But, of course, it's your show, so definitely call in and have fun with it. And I appreciate you guys giving me grace as, you know, I like I said, I'm always trying to elevate the show and make it interesting for you guys. So I appreciate you guys for showing up. CJ brings up some good points. I mean, not only talking about the versatility of some of our defensive players regarding like a freshman, Xavier Griffin, who could be utilized inside or at the edge, but I think he brings up another great point is like you have Trayshawn Brown, who showed flashes of what he can do as just a freshman. That we have to credit the coaching staff again, because they've gone on into recruiting and they found guys who might be unrated or whatever it is, a 3-star type guy, and you bring him here and look what he's able to do. And he brings up a last good point about Xavier Crowell. We have not even gotten to Xavier Crowell yet. I would imagine that Crowell plays more than Trayshawn Brown, but isn't it nice to think that in the tank, in the running back room, that we have guys like Xavier Crowell, that we got guys like Trayshawn Brown that are just waiting in development. And I'll tell you, yeah, development is about getting better, is about getting more physically developed. Trayshawn Brown is physically developed. Xavier Crowell is physically developed. So running back by committee this year is not going to be an issue. There's programs that have a featured running back. We don't have to be somebody that has wear and tear on just one running back because we have a plethora of guys that we can distribute the football to. So, yeah, really good points. Absolutely. Okay, let's take Mike down in Choctaw. Mike, what's up, man? I apologize about earlier, man. Welcome to the show. Mike calling in from Choctaw. Come with it, bro.
No worries, man. But just so you know, Kyle, I like your cooking videos, man. We all got to eat. We all like to cook something for the most part. I enjoy it. I mean, I was hoping you get a whole channel called Cooking with Kyle, you know what I mean? Because apparently you're a good cook, dude. So, but I think most people enjoy the cooking video. This is one thing I noticed about YouTube, right, man? Because you guys, I scroll through the shorts. All the dudes on YouTube get trolled, and all the women are told how beautiful they are. I mean, I don't know what that's the general way YouTube works, dude. So, Kyle, you're a dude. Rise above the haters, my man, and you know that more than I do. You know that more than I do, man. But hey, man. But I also want to talk about two things, right? Talk about two things that's been in the football news lately. One is, like you mentioned, I am more confident in our team after the game, after the scrimmage game a few days ago. And this is why, Kyle, this is why. When I look at the scrimmage games like that and 8A games in the past, you know, it's a scrimmage, man. So I really don't look at the stats, although Keelan Russell looked good, and you can, you know, see. But what I saw, dude, was our players looked bought in. They looked tuned in. Like I mentioned earlier, Ryan Grubb looks a little more tuned in. I think, you know, he got fired last year. I think it affected the psyche, dude, it's got to. Our whole team just looked a little more excited, a little more in tune, and I mean, and honestly, for a scrimmage, they were playing as much ball as they were allowed to play, dude. I mean, so I am more excited about our team after the scrimmage because I like the way our players looked like they were more involved and tuned in, like I mentioned. The X's and O's and stats, a little bit of a grain of salt on that, but I'm definitely more excited after the scrimmage game, dude. Don't know what the future holds, although I do think we're a playoff team. I don't know what our future holds.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think in terms of being bought in, I don't think that's been an issue for these guys. I think fans have had more of an issue buying into DeBoer than the players have. I think the players have absolutely bought into what's going on in Tuscaloosa. And I always bring this up. The most talked about guy right now going into the NFL draft is who? Ty Simpson. Okay. Everybody wants Ty Simpson. You see how quality of an individual he is. You see the type of leadership that he's displayed. He's the biggest guy who you should be listening to because he spent a lot of time with DeBoer, right? And he's the guy who's been bought in. He was a guy who was bought in, and still he'll forever be a capstone guy. He's a captain, right? So I look at that, and I look to the other players on the team. These guys love DeBoer. I haven't heard one guy. The only guys who are talking negative are other guys who chased the bag and went elsewhere. And even those guys aren't necessarily saying negative things about DeBoer. They're saying, more things about maybe the strength and conditioning or whatever. But I haven't heard any of the guys leave. Think about it. What guy has left and been like, yo, I just didn't like my relationship with DeBoer or with Grubb or whatever. Like, I haven't heard that at all. So I think the players, they've been bought in, and I think they showcased a lot what they have on Saturday. Of course, they're not going to show us everything, but look, offense, we saw a little bit of what we needed to see. I actually like the running game. We saw special teams, which I think nobody's talking about, but we should all be, maybe the main storyline should be the kicking game. Lorcan Quinn, that guy was on fire on Saturday, so that's a huge boost as well. All right, what else you got, Mike?
Point number two, I totally agree, Kyle. Point number two is this, right? But before I get to point number two, I'm going to follow up real quick on what you said. DeBoer has come in a tough situation, man. Following up, you already know this. You talked about this. Following up after Nick Saban, dude, that's like me singing karaoke after Lionel Richie. You know what I mean? That's like me doing a lead guitar solo because I'm a guitar player after Eddie Van Halen. It's a hard follow-up, dude. And by the way, man, Saban's last 2 or 3 years weren't exactly, winning great. They weren't exactly home run seasons, by the way. Our O-line struggled then too. But DeBoer has a tough follow-up after Saban, dude. And slowly we're getting it done. We're getting it. Here's point number two, Kyle. There's been a lot of talk lately, a little bit on your channel, but more nationally and more on other YouTube channels about the Big Ten, right? The question, has the Big Ten taken over college football? Oh, the Big Ten is the greatest thing since spaghetti now. They're the greatest thing. But, dude, here's my opinion on that, okay? Has the Big Ten taken over college football? No. But here's what I can say, Kyle. The 3 Big Ten teams that won it, Indiana, man, they smoked us. Congrats. I give them credit, dude. Michigan, they beat us too. They beat us, man. Congrats. I give them although the asterisk is the Connor Stallion situation. But Michigan beat us. I give them credit too. Ohio State, when they won it, they were the best team. They peaked at the right time, and I give them 3 teams credit for beating us and win the national championship. But overall, Kyle, I really, really think that the week to week grind in the SEC is much, much, much tougher than the week to week grind in the Big Ten. Them 3 teams that won it, absolutely, man. Congratulations. You beat us doing it. Take the trophy and celebrate. But with that being said, dude, the SEC is a much, much, much tougher grind than the Big Ten. And I think that's what a lot of people are missing is the week to week grind. But that's what makes the SEC tough. But
hey, Mike,
but I just wanted to say that, dude, because people like,
Mike, before you go, I have to ask you something, bro. I know a lot of you out there know that this show is powered by Prize Picks, okay? So play $5, get $50 and line up. Use the promo code, which is HMA, inside the description. Mike, I'm going to show the screen on the other side, okay? This is Prize Picks. So I just have to ask you, okay? So Jahmyr Gibbs, former Alabama great, do you think that he runs for more or less than 1,200 yards this season? More or less 1,200 yards with Jahmyr Gibbs. You got to think about this because you have Montgomery, who is now with the Texans, right? And Jahmyr Gibbs is now the featured back. What are you thinking about Jahmyr Gibbs? More or less 1,200 yards. What you got, Mike?
More. 1,200 is a lot of yards, Kyle. That's a lot of rushing yards, but I want to say more, and this is why, man. Other than Derrick Henry just being a whole nother level football player, just a man, a beast among men, I think Jahmyr Gibbs is made for the NFL. He's made for it. Gibbs is made for it. This is why, dude. He's kind of like a short, just in my opinion. I may be off, but he's kind of a shorter, more slasher, a power running back, kind of hide behind the O-line a little bit. I think he's made for the NFL. And really, dude, before Gibbs went to the NFL, I told myself, anybody that would listen, that whoever gets this guy, Gibbs, is going to get a home run running back. This is why, Kyle, in college football, dude, a running back can bully their way downfield a little bit. They can knock guys out of the way like Trent Richardson did. He knocked guys out of the way to get downfield. In the NFL, you can't knock people out of the way. You got to run around them. Unless you're Derrick Henry, you can push him out of the way. But that's why it takes NFL running backs got to be more of a slasher, dude. So the short answer, I'm going to go ahead and go with more, man, because especially now if he's a featured back, But yeah, dude, that 1,200's a lot of yards.
Hell yeah, it is.
But
hey, yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and say more. I'm going to say more. I think he's on a good team. He's good.
All right, good call, Mike. I appreciate you chatting with us, man. Appreciate it calling again. Blessings to your moms. I know you're taking care of her, and we'll catch up with you next time, buddy.
Thank you, man. Sweet potato French fries for lunch today. Have a good day, everybody. Bye-bye.
All right, next up, we got Chris from New Jersey. Chris, welcome in, bro. What's up, man? Good to hear from you. Welcome to the program.
Hey, brother. Well, first of all, I want to say I'm so happy for Mike. After he got out of that halfway house, he's really, really landed on his feet.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm so happy for him. So my best to you, Mike. I've been trying to call you. Everything's crazy up here. So I'm not going to say I told you so about Keelan Russell, kids, but I told you so.
Yeah.
But I just want, the biggest thing that I took away from like all your reporting and everything is, some of you guys are young out there and you don't remember this, but because I'm talking about DeBoer's answer about why Austin Mack wasn't on the in the end zone and the zone. It was like. You guys probably don't remember this, but in like the end of the 80s and the early 90s, all the tobacco companies, they were all in big trouble, and the government was suing them. Everybody was suing them, and they had to go, and all the executives had to go up and go in front of Congress, and they were getting grilled by these people, and they were like, and then they were going like, that smoking's addictive, and these guys were like, oh, we're surprised too. Yeah, I can't believe that. We didn't realize how addictive it's smoking. So Kalen DeBoer goes, yeah, he's going. Austin Mack's going through something. Kyle, you want to know what Austin Mack's going through? That he realized that he's not the starter.
Yeah.
So Keelan is the starter, kids. He is going to be 100% the starter in camp. It'll probably be you want to know my guesses? Early in camp, it's going to happen. It's his team. He's the better quarterback, and I forget who it was. It said Jay, Ephraim, Max, or Rock. Somebody said after the second or third game, Keelan's going to be in the Heisman chatter.
Whoa,
100%.
Yeah,
100%. You're hearing it here first. And listen, anybody, you know what he is? He's a winner. Everybody go back and look at his high school film. He was in the hardest conference or I don't know how they say it in Texas, like the highest level of these high schools and he started for 4 years. 4 years. And 4 years, he started when he was a freshman and he won 2 state championships. And that's like the SEC of Texas high school football. He was in that. So there you go. Everybody should be more pumped about this season than in years. So my number 2 is I got a prediction for Daniel Hill if he can do something. So now, Kyle, I think you and I talked about it, and maybe you might have played a little. Do you remember, like right before the national championship season, Najee Harris was coming up with his own like videos, and he was showing like him doing his workouts before the season started. He was like running. He was going on one of those treadmills and running like 20 miles an hour. Well, and we were like, Najee Harris, man, this guy is going to be the greatest thing ever for us. And he was. What a season. So he said something really, really interesting. Where I'm going with this is, he said, I weigh 222 pounds. It's the same weight I weighed when I was a senior in high school in California. Right. Yep. So, and this guy has gone and he's had a, I mean, I don't know where he is. I think he's in San Diego now, but he's been great in the NFL. He's got a whole bunch more years in the NFL. So if Daniel Hill can take off, like say, get into the 229, take off another 10 pounds, he could have a breakout year no one can even believe. And he's got a lot of people behind him that can get in. And, we don't have to remember Brian Robinson was like the only guy in there and he was getting battered all the time. You need to have somebody to get a break. So, and it looks like we have like 2 or 3, maybe even 4 guys that can give him a break. So, so that's my other point. Now, I keep on saying I got to get out of New Jersey and move. Mm-hmm. And the joke in the chat now, I'm going to move right next to you, Kyle. I'm going to start banging on your door to do it for a live. I'm going to be like, I see you in there, Kyle. The light, you turned the light off. I see you in there. Let me in. I want to come in live for this. So anyway, listen, great job on the. So I do have a little secret I want to share with you.
Okay.
So I was able to an old friend pro of mine got me a ticket for the Masters on Saturday. So I missed A Day, but I did go down and I went and walked around the Masters on Saturday. So that's why I missed. But I'm going to just tell you this: I got out of the Masters after walking like 5 or 6 miles. My feet were barking, and I went back to the hotel room. And the first thing I did was pull you up on my phone and see what went on A Day. So and I was like, oh my God, I knew it.
Yeah, you've been calling it for a while, and Keelan Russell definitely showed out on A Day for sure. You've been calling that, and I think we found our quarterback 100%. Yeah.
So all right, listen, brother, great job. Thank you for what you do.
Yeah.
I love the morning stuff because I'm a morning guy. So I'm listening to you, give us you like give me a pep talk every morning. I'm like, I'm gonna have an extra good day because Kyle told me to. All right. So my best to you, my best to the undefeated, and we will talk soon, my brother.
All right, man. Take it easy. Thanks for calling in. All right. Buddy Chris from New Jersey checking out the Masters. All right, looks like we go to the road, and we got Jay in Pensacola. I don't know where he's calling from. We'll find out. Call line is also available, 205-850-1994. Let's take Jay and find out where he's at. Jay, what's up, man?
Hey, Cal, how's it going?
How you doing, brother? Where you at today?
I'm in Virginia, Richmond.
Richmond, Virginia. Okay. Love it. I used to live in Virginia. Trivia: Where did Kyle live in Virginia? That's your trivia question. JTL, what's up, man? I see you inside the comment box. JTL is an LSU fan. He was. Where were you at, JTL? We haven't seen you in a while, dog. Oh, he says he's a Georgia fan now. Oh my goodness! Wow.
Oh my goodness!
Right.
Hey, we can't message you, dog. If you spot a team like that, dog, we can't message you, big dog. I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
What's up, Jay?
You can't come here for a team like that, man.
Man, he's swimming. Yo, JTL, you just went from Louisiana to Georgia, bro. You just drove right past Tuscaloosa. Just become a fan, dog. Yo, we got plenty of room.
Right.
Come on. Yeah.
I mean, the water's fine over here, man. Water's fine.
Oh man, what's up, Jay? How you been, bro? Welcome to the show.
I've been good, Kyle. I'm feeling extra grateful today, Kyle. I'm just grateful for life. I'm grateful to God. I'm grateful to have you, Kyle. And I'm just feeling extra grateful today. It's just something I was thinking about as well. I think it's just my personal opinion. Mm-hmm. I think that Kalen DeBoer sees a mixture. I know people comparing to Jaden Daniels, but I think he sees I think he sees a mixture of Michael Penix, Keelan Russell as well. I know he wants to. I know he wants Austin Mack to start or whatever, but he sees how special Keelan Russell is. And I am optimistic about the offensive line. I feel like if we can trend, like if we can trim out the bad things that we have in the first few games before we get to Georgia, I feel like our ceiling for the season is extremely high when it comes to offensive line. I feel like it's still a work in progress, and to get everything cleaned up, majority of everything, I feel like it's hard to adjust mid-season versus the fall practice. If we can get everything cleaned up and get all the nicks and bunks fixed during fall camp over the summer, I feel like our season, I feel we can at least go the second round and again in the college football playoffs.
Yeah.
I kind of do agree with you when you said that I don't think this year we make it to the national championship. I do feel like next year that we will be there. We will be in. I feel like next year is our year, in my opinion.
Yep. I'm showing Jay.
One more thing.
Yeah, go ahead, bro. Finish out.
Go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
I'm showing on the screen right now the difference between the first half of Alabama's schedule and the second half. It's crazy, bro. It is seriously two different planets.
Crazy. Oh,
right?
my goodness.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, look. East Carolina, Kentucky, Florida State, South Carolina, Mississippi State, right? I think we all know payback game against Florida State and then South Carolina, that'll be a tough one because of what they bring back. But, I mean, look at those games and then look at these games. The next 5, Georgia, Tennessee, A&M, LSU, Vanderbilt. It's crazy. It is a whole different – but thankfully, it'll give our quarterbacks time to grow up, right? In our offense, time to grow up. I just think that schedule, the first half and the second half, is crazy, man. It's so different.
It's like two competing jackets. It's like a tale of two halves.
Yeah, for sure.
It's really a tale of two halves.
And that's why.
I'm actually grateful for the schedule. I'm grateful that the schedule is this way. Because if we started off like we did last year with our young quarterbacks now, I think we'd be in trouble.
Yeah. You said you had one more thing that you wanted to throw up on the board.
Yeah, So I think I was a bit hard on the boy. I don't like the blowouts. I don't like the blowout. The one we had to get Oklahoma last year. Yeah. Not last season, but 2024 season. I don't like that. I don't like the one we had against Indiana. Yeah. I do feel like he's getting better. Each year he's getting better. I feel like he's slowly getting to where he was in Washington before he left. And I know the Pac-12 different from the SEC, but I feel like he's adjusting. He's lost weight. I feel like he's getting better. He's learning more each season about the SEC. And Ryan Grubb, can somebody bring a stat up for me? So in undefeated, did Ryan Grubb win as many gadget plays in Washington as he did here?
How many?
That's one thing I want to know.
Gadget plays did Ryan Grubb run in 2023? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know if anybody has that stat. You would have to watch all the film and kind of chart it out. How many did he run last year? He ran one during the spring game, a Wildcat.
I know. I laughed so hard when you said that.
I know
that pissed you off the most, guy.
I couldn't believe it.
I know.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, wait, what's happening? I was like, why is Daniel Hill? And I was like, oh my God, they're running Wildcat. So I don't. How many would you honestly say trick plays that we ran last year? Like no messing around. Would you say that it was over 20? How about this? Was it more or less than 20? I think it was more than 20.
I would say at least 2 per game. At least 2 per game.
That's what I'm saying, right? I think it was more than 20 gadget plays for sure. And how many this is interesting, okay? On the gadget play front. If we ran, let's say 20, let's just make up a number. It was like 23 gadget plays, okay? Comparing that to the last 15 years of Alabama football, I wonder if it was more gadget plays than that combined. I'm dead serious. It didn't feel like we ran
it was because Nick Saban he didn't play that. Yeah, I tell you, during Nick Saban's tenure, he probably allowed maybe one, but I mean like a few once a year.
Yeah,
maybe. but Nick Saban didn't play that. He didn't play with them trick plays.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know. I really wonder how many trick plays we ran last year. I definitely would say over 20 for sure. I don't know. Anything else, Jay, before we move on, bro?
I don't think I got as far as you cooking, Kyle. I appreciate you cooking, Kyle. Before I was a truck driver, I used to be a cook.
Oh, no way.
I know I cook very, very. Yeah. I used to wear. I started as a dishwasher. I was 17 years old. 2008, my first job. November 6th is my first job.
Yeah.
2008, November 6th. I worked at the country club. Started off as dishwasher. Then moved up to the salad line. So I started making salads. Then I moved to the mug shops, and then I worked for mug shops there and started to cook. Then I worked at the hotel. I was a chef. Actually, at the hotel, I was a chef.
No.
So we made salmon, we made redfish, we made snapper.
Ooh.
We made a lot of fancy stuff. We made ribeyes, we made sirloin. I learned a lot. I learned how to cook breakfast. I know how to do a whole buffet. I learned a lot when it comes to cooking. But me, I'm a plain guy. I'm a plain Jane guy. When I say I'm plain cow, I go to restaurants. I look for a chicken sandwich or a quesadilla.
Yeah,
that is it. Because I have a gout, so I can't eat beef and pork.
Yeah, so. I have a friend who doesn't eat any sauces. See, like I'm a sauce guy. I like sauces. But like I have a buddy, even if he orders like, I don't know, like a quesadilla, he's not eating anything with it. Nothing. Or like let's say he gets like chicken tenders or something, nothing, no sauces. Anything. I need sauce. I'm a sauce dude. But yeah,
I gotta have sauce. I gotta have it.
Well, I appreciate you calling in, bro. Thank you so much. I appreciate you always joining the program, and be safe on the road, and we'll catch up with you soon, bro.
I love you, Cal. God's the greatest. Chris from New Jersey. You need to move out of New Jersey, man. I hate New Jersey. I love you, Chris, but I hate New Jersey. I know you're the mob boss, but I love you. I love you, Chris. I love you, Cal. God's the greatest. Love you, undefeated.
All right, man. Take it easy. Love you too, bro. All right, that is Jay. He's from Pensacola, on the road in Virginia. Yeah, so he said he doesn't like he doesn't like traffic in New Jersey, Florida, and of course, like nobody likes the traffic in Atlanta, right? I mean, anytime you go through Atlanta, you just don't know like what's gonna happen. But I still feel like in my opinion, I feel like the traffic when I used to live in Los Angeles, that it's different than Atlanta traffic. Atlanta traffic, I can't explain it. Atlanta traffic just seems like it's all the time. And same thing with LA, but I feel like in LA, people are driving faster. So it's like more traffic, but people are driving faster. I don't know. And like really fast. I'm saying like nothing under like 85. It's the craziest thing. One time I was driving, I'm not kidding you. I don't know if I was on the 610 or the 405, but I promise you I saw a washing machine on the freeway. A washing machine. It was crazy. Yeah, but phone line is open if you want to chime in today. Oh, looks like we got a 251. Is this someone from L.A.? Like the real L.A.? Yo, who am I on line with and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle. This is Cliff from Mobile.
I knew it was somebody from the real L.A. All right, Cliff, what's up, man? I appreciate you joining in. Thank you very much for – you say Cliff, right?
Yes, sir.
Cliff, welcome on into the show. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for calling from L.A. Hey, heads up, I might be down in Mobile May 1st, 2nd, and the 3rd. So I'll keep you all posted in the comment box if I do. Welcome on in, Cliff. Thanks for joining in, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. I appreciate what you do. I just want to say I watch your show every morning, and I think you're really doing some good stuff. After A-Day, though, I just kind of wanted to hit on the quarterback situation.
Yeah.
I've been a big fan of Keon.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to be the next greatest quarterback. But I've really been focused in on Austin Mack because I got a lot of trust in him. What do you take? Do you take probably the higher ceiling with Keon Russell, or do you take the more kind of veteran, more experienced quarterback like Austin Mack, which he hasn't had a whole lot of experience, but he knows the system. He's been with Brian Grubb and Kalen DeBoer for how many years,
Yeah.
And after A-Day, it's like, can we just kind of throw him to the side and be like, oh, it's Keon now. It's his time. I mean, we could, but I feel like you're not really giving Mac his time to really develop because they still got summer. They got fall camp. And, after one performance, can you go, oh, it's Keon now? And I just don't think it's really fair to do him like that because they got to do it day in and day out. Keon's going to have to go and prove himself like every single day, every practice that he's number one. And, if he wins, I hope he does great. I want to see Alabama win, go win a national championship with whoever quarterback. But everybody's been super high on him. I am too. I just, are we giving them the due diligence if we just throw him in there without, giving the next quarterback another fair shot because he's just so young? Kind of the thing.
Yeah, I think from the quarterback situation, the one guy that definitely wants to give Austin Mack a shot is clearly Kalen DeBoer. And Kalen DeBoer has seen all the practices. He's been in the film room. He saw much more than just A-Day, right? For me, I'm like all in on Keelan. I think from a coaching perspective, because I've been thinking about this, I think DeBoer's strategy is to keep it competitive, which makes these guys go head-to-head into the season. And I truly feel that that's kind of one of the catalysts that will make the team better is because of the competition. If it was my program, I would name Keelan. But the other thing is Austin Mack, this guy has shown that he's capable in certain situations. I don't think that he has the playmaking ability that Keelan has, but he has more experience and he has other tools that Keelan probably doesn't. The guy has a laser of an arm, and I still keep thinking about the pass that he threw in the Rose Bowl out to, who was it on the right that he hit? Was it Jahmyr Bernard? I can't remember for a big gain. I think they.
I'm trying to remember who it was.
Who was it, family? Remember, he came in the Rose Bowl, and it was the first throw of the game. He threw probably it had to be a 40-yard pass down to the right. Was it Jahmyr Bernard? I'm telling you, it was a beautiful throw. He had a nice throw.
It
was a laser, and he had a really nice throw to Ryan Coleman Williams, and he had a really nice he had a touchdown pass in this 8-day scrimmage. I'm just telling you though, Cliff, bro. I felt it was one or the other, and we kind of figured it out. But I just left A-Day just blown away with the way that Keelan Russell kept his eyes downfield, moved in the pocket, operated the offense. It seemed just more fluid. So that's why I'm calling it Keelan. But I know there's a lot of people, a lot of other analysts that have seen even much more than I have are still saying that it's going to be competitive. Hard for me to believe based off what I saw on Saturday. But, I say a lot, but other people have seen more. So I guess that's why we continue the quarterback competition going into the season. Like I said, it's not my program. It's Coach Kalen DeBoer's. And clearly, DeBoer knows that this year is a pivotal year. If there's barely a slip up on the offense, and I think that creates a lot of heat on DeBoer because DeBoer's guy is Grubb. Grubb's job is to develop the offense, develop the quarterbacks. And if we don't see these guys take a step forward, that may be one of the hardest decisions that DeBoer's ever had in his coaching career is to cut bait with Grubb. Will he be able to do that? I don't know. He seems like the most loyal person, which is great in a sense, but not at the professional level. This isn't collegiate anymore. This is some sort of the NFL. And in the NFL, if something isn't working, you cut bait immediately or else you get fired. In the NFL, they don't play. Nobody cares about your feelings, about your friends. They will fire you immediately. It's cutthroat. What else you got, Cliff?
Yeah, that's real. I kind of wanted to hit on the running backs a little bit. I felt like Kevin Riley is really to have a good year. Nobody's really been giving him the line I think he deserves. I feel like he just ran the ball super hard. I feel like if Daniel Hill ran the ball as hard as Kevin Riley, he would be the feature back. But, Daniel Hill, he should be able to get hit and fall forward 2 or 3 yards, which makes him, I feel like a better running back, kind of like a Derrick Henry in a sense. He just, with him getting a little bit or cutting some weight, I think he's going to be really good. But Kevin Riley, I feel like it's going to come down to, A.K. Deer and Kevin Riley. But, kind of seeing Trayshawn Brown, I was like, that was kind of unexpected. E.J. Crowell, I watched his tape. He's super impressive, like what he did in high school. I'm interested to see how it translates to, the collegiate level. So we'll see, we'll see.
Yeah, I'll answer on the other line about the running backs, but good call, Cliff. I appreciate it, man. Call in anytime and take it easy. Thanks for calling in from Mobile, man.
No problem. I'll talk to you later.
All right, see you, buddy. All right, about the running backs. Clearly what was impressive from the running back situation this past Saturday was a lot of talk about Trayshawn Brown and the opportunities that he had in open space and how he made the most of those impressions. He's very good. He's very dangerous. And again, I see it a credit to the coaching staff. Nobody knew who this guy was. He didn't even have I don't think that he had a profile built on like 247 or on 3. I think when he committed, like they had to build a profile for him. That just shows you the connections that this coaching staff has. This guy certainly looks apart. Let me show you a photo real quick. I just posted it on the Facebook channel. It was from Alabama, posted it yesterday. Look at this dude as a freshman. Look, I still think that he's not going to play more, in my opinion, than Crowell. But let's just look at this, okay? Look at this dude. This is who Cliff was talking about, and I know you were too. Look at this dude. This guy has pipes. This is another freshman running back that we have here. Trayshawn Brown. Know the name. And how exciting is it for us as fans that we have Crowell and Brown as both freshmen? Like I'm saying. And look, Cliff was clearly talking about Kevin Riley. Nobody's going to talk about Kevin Riley. And I don't want to become somebody that just hypes up younger people and forgets about players that have already been here. I think that happens way too much. We get excited about all these people and we forget like who's really like the veterans. Like, look, with all due respect, there's no way that Trayshawn Brown plays more than Daniel Hill or Kevin Riley or AK did this year. That's not a knock to anybody. That's just how it's going to work, okay? And I know you want Trayshawn Brown to be the starting running back. He wasn't going against like the top-tier competition yet, but he does have that ability. It's good to look in terms of the pipeline, but I thought that Daniel Hill looked good. I thought that Kevin Riley, look, when Kevin Riley had opportunities, the defense showed up. Same thing with A.K. Deer. I wouldn't go off assessment based off somebody just like Boomwa just hitting A.K. Deer. Everyone's like, oh, A.K. Deer can't. He did his job. He did what he was supposed to do. And in open space, I don't know, I've showed the clip a bunch of times, A.K. Deer looked as explosive as anybody else. So I like the running backs, to be honest. I feel that we've made a step forward within the running back room. So that's how I feel. And I appreciate the call from Cliff. Or if you guys joining the program today and you guys gave me a shot to get on the call line, thank you so much for joining the show today. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I hope you guys definitely enjoyed the program today. It was a call-in show. I like to do the call-in shows on Wednesday. You know, Tuesdays and Thursdays is kind of more dialogue, and then I think what I like to do is on Wednesdays and Fridays kind of open it up and have different points of view from you all. You guys call in and you guys make the show definitely what it is. And then, of course, Wake Up Bama early in the morning. And, hey, Q, I definitely got to call you back, bro. I missed your call, and I just been swamped, bro. So look for a text, and whenever you're free, bro, call back so we can catch up 100%. All right? It's good to see you inside the comment box. So that's kind of it for today, family. I hope you guys had an enjoyable last hour. Thank you for supporting me on Wake Up Bama right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Please remember to support our sponsor, which is Prize Picks. Play $5, get $50 in your lineup. Use the promo code, which is directly inside the description box. And I really appreciate you guys joining me today. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama on Wednesday, April 15th. Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. And I'll catch you guys on the next show right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Thanks for watching, family. This broadcast was brought to you by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Catch Kyle Henderson every day on the Facebook channel or right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Have a beautiful day and roll Tide. All right, see you, family. Y'all the best. And roll.